Hi, it's Patricia Coughlin again, and I'm going to continue with our theme of rupture and repair. And today I'm going to talk about intentional disruption. Now, as a therapist, you might think, why would you intentionally want to disrupt the patient or the process? But actually, the more you think about it, I hope you realize disruption is inevitable. It's important, it's vital. We want to disrupt the patient's characteristic way of being, which has actually gotten them into all kinds of problems and certainly keeps them stuck and will, in fact, create stuckness in the therapy. So, if all you do is support the patient, create safety, right? I shouldn't do that. I mean, creating a safe environment is, in fact, important. And it is, in fact, a prerequisite to starting to then challenge the patient. In particular, challenging their defenses, the ways of relating to themselves and others that hurt them. So, this combination of support or safety with challenge is absolutely necessary for growth and development, especially in adults. So, therapists may not be comfortable with this, and you really need to learn how to be able to challenge dysfunctional patterns, challenge obstacles to growth, challenge obstacles and barriers to engagement. If you don't, you're not going to get anywhere. And I think one of the reasons that therapists avoid this is because patients often become irritated with us. Actually, they usually have quite a complex mix of feeling when we sort of call them out on the things they're doing that hurt them. You will find that patients actually really appreciate this. I can't count the number of patients who have said, come on, challenge me. I don't want you just sitting there and saying, so they appreciate it, but at the same time, are going to feel irritated or annoyed. And it's just those kinds of complex mixed feelings that we actually want to invite. And that, again, will further deepen and open the process. So a lot of this, again, has to do with the therapist's willingness, again, not just to be universally supportive, but to take sides, to support the healthy strivings in the patient, and the part of the patient that is willing to do some difficult work, is willing to tolerate anxiety and pain for growth. And you also have to be willing to be the target of some of their anger and annoyance at being challenged. And if you don't, you're going to stay stuck. So this has to do, again, with intentional disruption. And in order to do this, you have to be pretty clear who it is you're dealing with. The patient has to be separated from their defenses. The defenses have to be dystonic. They have to see, oh yes, I go helpless and start crying. I get all weepy every time I get angry, and I hate that. It really doesn't serve me. So they have to see that they're doing something to defend and avoid feelings and that it hurts them. If you begin to challenge a patient when they're still identified with the defense and they say, hey, that's just the way I am. I mean, I'm an intellectualizer by nature. I'm not a very emotional person. And you start challenging them, you could actually get a misalliance. So if that happens, now you're tipping into rupture of the alliance and possible misalliance. So that is the place where you need to, first of all, get back on track. Realize that you have started to challenge too early before the patient has become separated from their defenses. So you're going to need to go back and do some repair work there. And you may also need to say, I'm sorry, let me clarify. I in no way mean to suggest that you are a hopeless person. Right, what I'm saying is you have a tendency to go to kind of a hopeless, helpless place right? When you get angry, do you see that? So you might actually have to apologize. It depends on the situation and how you're feeling. But the most important thing is that, again, you recognize the mistake and you see where you went wrong. Uh-oh, and it's information. Ooh, this person really isn't separated from their defense. It's not dystonic, it's syntonic. I have some more work to do there. So again, mistakes are inevitable, and as long as you don't get threatened by them and you can pay attention to them, use them yourself for good information and feedback, feed it back to the patient, repair and get back on track, your work is going to continue apace. And again, the research suggests it might even be better than it would have been if you're too careful and tiptoeing all the time. So I hope this is helpful. Again, we're talking here about intentional disruption to the patient's characteristic way of being willing to challenge the patient and take the heat. In the next video, we'll talk about inadvertent, unintentional ruptures and missteps that, again, need to be acknowledged and repaired in order to get the alliance back on track. So I look forward to your comments and questions, and we'll keep this conversation going. Thanks.